So, Tron Ares. Tron Ares. Tron Ares. I literally just sat down in this chair just now, just back from the theater. So this is going to be kind of just off the top of Red's head. Well, he's got crazy allergies, so apologies if my voice sounds like rubbish, but, got to get these thoughts out while they're fresh. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And if I remember right, audiences that are actually like reporting in are enjoying it too. Let me fact check myself here at the table. Okay. We're gonna hit up Rotten Tomatoes real quick here. I know the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes Troners is awful. Holy crap, I'm getting like 8. Please turn on ads things. 53% from the critics. Actually not as bad as I thought it was. 86% from the audience. And you know what? I would 100% agree with that 86%. I think that is a relatively fair score. I actually might lower it a little bit closer to 80. But I enjoyed it. The first thing that kind of comes to mind is a couple of the bigger flaws for the film. Notably, like straight up, my sister turned to me as we exited the theater. I went and saw it with my father and my sister. Immediately, she turns to me as we step out of the theater, and she goes, "Did that feel short to you?" And I was like, "Yes, it did. It did. It comes in at exactly 2 hours. Well, maybe like a minute shy of 2 hours. But it felt like it needed to be a little bit longer, and the biggest reason that is because the characters, normally I would deduct a lot more points for lacking in the character department. However, like the weird thing is the characters themselves are actually like good. However, they are lacking structure. They're lacking build up. To be 100% honest, if you tacked an additional 15 to 20 minutes on at the start of the movie to actually build up the characters that we follow through this a little bit more, the human characters in the real world, it would have been great. Because there's some emotional payoff stuff they try to do later, and you're just kind of like, we didn't really build up to this at all. We didn't really build up to people having these feelings. It's fine. It's fine because, like, again, like, it's weird because the rest of that is actually still pretty solid. I know a lot of critics have talked about the dialogue in this feeling wooden or cliche, and at times it can be, but I don't think that's accurate. I think that's them trying to reconcile in their head a lot of the dialogue not feeling earned. But otherwise, this movie's great. It's shot really well. I don't know that the soundtrack stands out as much as I wanted it to, but it stands out enough that you're like, this is cool. This is something different, just like Nine Inch Nails kind of promised it would be. And they do make good on the premise of the idea of characters from the grid coming to the real world, and all the implications of a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. It kind of hurts because I know that this isn't performing super well in the box office right now. So it's a bit of a bummer because I don't know that we'll get a fourth one of these. I think they're going to reshelve it again, and it's going to get dug out of the closet in 20 years again. Because that's just what Disney does. That's what we sadly are getting accustomed to now in our corporate-driven entertainment industry. And I hate it because Tron has a lot to offer as a series. And this movie actually does a really good job of showing that. I just don't know that the turnout's good enough for it. But yeah, I don't know. Those are just some of the off the top of the head thoughts here. Again, I think everything else works great. A lot of people criticized the Julian Dillinger character in this. I actually thought that it worked just fine, but I'm also the same guy that really liked Kylo Ren being a big baby on screen, which did not jive with a lot of people. But I'm like, hey, when you consider that the dude was an emotionally stunted individual, given his upbringing and the people that he idolized and stuff like that, it made a lot of sense, and I actually really enjoyed that. that kind of writing. Um, in this, again, doesn't really feel earned because we don't understand a whole lot about this, and I think that's my other criticism with Tron as a series, is that we keep ditching these characters we've built up, or at least hinted at a little bit in a little way, and just we keep rotating people out. The Dillingers keep changing, the Flynns keep changing, the people in charge of NCOM keep changing, and it's like, could we just stick with one for a little while, for at least 2 movies? I think that was another one of their bigger flaws, is not being able to tie this a little bit more closely to Legacy, although they do throw a few bones here and there towards that, which was nice because I know a lot of people were worried about this being very soft reboot, in that they were going to kind of ignore that. Thankfully, they don't 100% ignore that, which is great. But yeah, I don't know. Without getting into spoiler territory, that's kind of the best, series of thoughts that I can bring this. Hopefully, it's at least a little coherent. The takeaway from this, definitely about an 80% kind of movie for me. I think critics are being a little too harsh on it. It does have its flaws, by no means like a knock it out of the park kind of movie, but I do wish it was performing a little bit more properly in the box office to at least have made its money back, because I do think it deserved that, and I think we deserve more Tron stuff. But I don't know that we'll get it. I don't know that we'll get it with, ironically, considering the kind of corporate narrative of the Tron movies, which is still present in this third entry into the series as well. Ironically, I think we're going to get hamstringed by corporations, just kind of like it happens in the movies. Much as, that pains me to say, but I don't know. Has anyone else seen it? I'd like your thoughts. I'm curious. Probably come up with something a little bit more long form and a little bit more official than this, and probably spoiler filled. Because I think this is a kind of movie that deserves to have a little bit of a conversation around it. And I don't know that I'm seeing a ton of that. I'm seeing a lot of criticism on it. I'm seeing a lot of praise for it, but I'm not really seeing anything a little bit more in the middle where people are trying to bring out some of the meatier ideas from this. But again, what were your thoughts? Did you guys enjoy it? I hope you did. If not, I want to know why you didn't. Maybe I missed something.